Sophisticated Ignorance. I'm your host, JoJo Brown, and we serve you hip-hop realness every episode. So today on the show we have Rorirocket, hip-hop guru and local Long Beach artist.
Ow!
So as you guys know, Valentine's Day just passed, so you can pretty much guess what we're going to be talking about. That's right, Black History Month, because there's more important things than big-ass teddy bears and hand jobs. So, today on the show we're going to be talking about the correlation between hip-hop and Black History Month. I believe that the correlation between Black History Month and hip-hop are pretty much synonymous because hip-hop culture is synonymous with black culture. With that being said, black people use hip-hop to talk about different issues that are going on in the world. Do you have an opinion about the correlation between hip-hop and black culture?
Very much so, because it's kind of like with any music that we made in this country, which is like pretty much most music, when it comes to like jazz, rock, we invented that. That embodies us. It's one of those things that embodies us. So it's only right that you consider it pretty much one and the same.
So do you believe that black artists have a responsibility to use their platform to address black issues?
I think when it comes to anybody that's pretty much at that high of a pedestal, you being African American, you have to say something about anything that goes on, that's whether it be supremely negative or it be putting positivity into the culture itself, because you have such a big voice. You're a huge voice.
So does this apply only to quote unquote conscious artists, or is this across the board?
I think we all have a right to rap about what we want to rap about, spit about what we want to spit about. We can talk about ass and sex. And as long as every now and then, you kind of let people know you're listening to the streets, you're listening to the people, the everyday man. I feel like everybody, you have to do that at some point, whether it at least be in a speech, in a performance, somewhere you have to say something,
So you believe that if it affects the black community, that we as, well, I'm not an artist, but black artists have a responsibility to the viewers and to themselves to use their platform to talk about these things.
Yeah, because even if you see in old school music, like in the 70s, and during that Black Panther, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X era, they everybody was saying something. James Brown was saying something. The Temptations were saying something. Everybody had something to say. So I feel like that's what made things become more and more positive and better. You have to say something.
As you know, we do have white artists in the game as well. So are they basically, what is the word? Are they basically ruled out from this? Do they not have to speak about it, even though they are involved with hip-hop culture, which you said is one and the same with black culture? If they are not black, my question is, do they also have a responsibility to speak out, or is it just on the sole backs of the black artists?
It's hard to say, because if I'm making mariachi music or something like that, and something happens in Mexico or in any Latin area, and I don't say anything, am I wrong? It's hard to say with that one, because I feel like they're human, it's hard for them to focus on all those things at once. It's like you already have the hip-hop, the fame, you're already kind of an outcast because you're white, you know what I mean? So it's holy shit, I feel like so it's a thin line with white artists, because the fact that if they do talk about it, it's like, oh, it's culture appropriation. Exactly. They're trying to include themselves on something that they're not relative to. But if they don't, then it's like, well, you're a fraud, and you're in a predominantly black arena, and you're not speaking about the things that are basically plaguing black community. So it's a good point. I'm glad that you brought up the fact about status and the influence that music can have. So with that being said, did you listen to Beyonce's Formation song? Yes, I did.
And what did you think about it?
I thought it was, all in all, it's a good party song. It sounds more like everything on her last album, where it's kind of like, you can see a girl shaking ass to this, whatever. But
as far as black messages go, because I was reading some articles online, and one of the things that stood out to me was that they were trying to compare this song, Formation, to James Brown's song, I'm Black and I'm Proud. And to me, they're not equivalent. But what do you think about that?
I don't think they're anywhere. I think the message is there, she's trying to say that, but it's not as direct, it's not as strong, and it doesn't feel as real, because with her, it took so long. It's like this was years ago that Trayvon Martin was shot. That was 2011 almost.
So what do you think is her reasoning for waiting so long to talk about it?
I think I think with her, it was just like, I don't want to say she seems like she doesn't really focus too much on the serious, but I feel like she's more focused on the music as a person. I don't feel like she branches outside of that very much.
Are you saying that you feel like she's riding a wave? Because with Kendrick's Grammy performance and basically some other people, I don't know if you know, but The Game has been speaking out about the Flint water crisis, and people have been basically speaking out about what's going on over there and black injustice and police brutality and stuff like that. So do you think that she's using formation to ride a wave that she sees music is going towards?
I think not only that, but I think just what the entire way was presented, how she literally put it out the day before her Super Bowl performance. I knew girls were calling it the Beyonce Bowl. I was like, what the hell? Like, really? Like, and it was literally, you know, certain people that were just obsessed with it. But I think it was really just a marketing scheme with the way the song was just presented, the way the performance was presented, the way everything just went, the way she went about it. You know, because if you watch only the music video and you actually, if you don't see the music video and you just hear the song, you're kind of just like, you know, this doesn't feel pro anything. It's just like I'm having fun. Like,
yeah.
You know,
my opinion, I don't want to say that she's a wave rider, and I'm gonna say something here and then I'm gonna try to clean it up. So what I feel about this song is it's equivalent to me to the N-word, and I'm gonna say this, and what I mean by that is I can critique it, and other black people who the issues that she's trying to address can critique it. But because I don't know if you've heard, but people are trying to say that the Black Panther visuals that she had in there are as offensive as the KKK movement. Now, to me, I think that's a radical difference because the Black Panthers weren't worried about burning crosses. They weren't worried about lynching people. They weren't worried about burning churches to the ground. So with that being said, I feel like there's obviously a great polarized difference there, but I kind of feel like people are giving this song too much credit. Like, I'm happy that there is a song out there that is hopefully going to influence somebody to appreciate their blackness a little bit more, appreciate their afro, you know, nostrils and everything else that she's talking about. But like you said, the time that she waited to talk about this, I feel like there's so many visuals in there that she could have addressed at the time that they happened. For example, like the Hurricane Katrina visuals, there's basically a shot, there's a shot of her sitting on top of a cop car with a flood all around her. That's supposed to be representative of Hurricane Katrina. But this happened a long time ago.
So long ago, before.
Yeah, and there was another visual of a little black boy in a hoodie, and I thought that was supposed to be representative of Trayvon Martin, but that happened in 2012 around that time. So my question then is it morality versus money? Is there basically, what is it, like a pull between those things for her? Because if these are issues that you're truly worried about and truly want to speak out about, you have had an empire that money is not a problem for her. I don't know her wallet, but I can assume that money is not an issue enough for you not to speak out about these things if you are so passionate about them and if you are so animate about basically spreading this knowledge to people.
That's been my opinion of her the whole time. Like, she seems more focused on the music and marketing, and rather than the true, you know, like the issues of the African American culture. I mean, when you see Beyonce though, you don't see like quote unquote super down black chick. You see a girl who's dyed her hair blonde since she got famous. A woman who possibly may or may not have bleached her skin. You know what I mean? Like, she looks bright. She looks lighter on this magazine cover than this one. And it's like she didn't touch it up to make herself darker.
But most times what you have to think about that is she's not the person who touches up those magazines. The marketing scheme of these magazines is to broadcast it and to market it to the biggest consumer. The biggest consumer of hip hop, as you know, are white young teens. So the reason that I feel like the reason why she took so long to speak out about these things is because she's more worried about her marketing and who's listening to her and who's going to have an opinion about her music. Because if I feel like, and black people, this is where it comes down to, if an artist is somebody that you truly support, you need to support their music, buy an album, go out and go to a concert. Why? Because then they have more money to be like, oh, and it shouldn't be about the money, but at a point it is. So they have the money to be like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to go towards, because if they're not going to put money in my pocket, why speak out about the things that are going to basically have them listen to my music? Do you get what I'm saying? There's a mindset there with different artists.
I feel like, with certain artists.
So now I'm going to shift, because it is comparable, so I'm going to shift it to Stacey Dash. As you know, in her interview, she basically said that BET and things like Black History Month in itself are things that are keeping us from being integrated as a country. They're keeping us from being white, black, Mexican. We're having like a whole month to ourselves where she feels like that's the reason why we're still segregated. What do you think about that?
I think that's a hard thing to say because I even thought that at one point, like, is it a little, are we giving, ourselves too much? But then you think about what black culture was before today, and like we needed those programs. There is nobody getting invited to the Grammys that's black, or anybody getting brought into these major award ceremonies at like MTV and certain things. It took a while before a black person is just getting Grammy to Grammy to Grammy to Grammy, There you go.
So, are you saying, well, I'm going to basically try to summarize in my own voice what you said, and I do agree with a certain aspect of it. I feel like it's, you can compare it to black fraternities and black sororities. For so many years, we were not allowed to join those things because of the color of our skin. So that's why we created our own things. So Black History Month to me, and this should not be the only time that you appreciate your blackness. You should appreciate it every time you see another black individual, every time you look at yourself in the mirror. But if they want to give us only 28 days and say this is what you get, then that's what we're going to use, and we're going to use it to basically spread knowledge and spread appreciation for each other.
Our history is we're slaves, in the history books. That's our history.
So if we're going to use Black History Month to teach people that no, there's a lot more history that comes with African and black history than just from slavery and beyond.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that is what embodies Black History Month. Like, it's supposed to be about literally our history. It's our history month. But as far as us having these privileges, to segregate us, I think everyone has their own little bracket. Why is there a Chinatown? If you say that, like, why is there like a Mexican restaurant? You know what I mean? If you're gonna say that, then just be like, this is a food spot.
I understand.
There's all these things that
I feel like it's our differences that make us
they make
so
us unique. Exactly, and the fact that we can unify under that is what is supposed to make you a great person or a great country. Is the fact that you guys can unify even though you are different.
So my last question to you is going to be, what does Black History Month mean specifically to you?
To me, it means like it's that time where you kind of look back and you read about you find out about your history in this country, because you can't really go far. You can't go to Ancestry too heavily. But what it means to me is like, this is where you praise yourself, where you finally give yourself the due rights that you deserve as a person. You respect yourself, and that's what it means to me. Like,